Alright, finish with the consumer innovativeness. We come to a new topic, which is dogmatism. Okay, what is actually dogmatism? Dogmatism is actually a personality trait that reflects the degree of rigidity of a person displays toward the unfamiliar and toward information that is contrary to his or her own established beliefs. So you want, I mean, this type of consumers, they are very, very rigid. They are very, very orthodox, if I may say that. Okay, very, very orthodox. They have their own belief, and they don't want to actually to try a new product or services because of their own belief says that no, it's not correct to use that product or it's not good to use that product. So they will rarely consider the unfamiliar and tend to be very close-minded, right? Marketers have realized this type of consumer appreciate advertising's appeal with celebrities and other experts. So you need to have like other what you call it factors that actually motivate them to purchase the product. So you associate the advertisement with celebrities or maybe popular what you call it individuals and maybe experts from the industry. Then they can actually be persuaded to purchase the product. And then we look at the I'm recording a video, please. Thank you. Okay. Okay, when we look at the personality and understanding consumer behavior, okay, it ranges on the continuum from inner directedness to other directedness. What would you mean by inner directedness? Okay, they rely on own values when evaluating products, and also they are normally innovators. Whereas other directedness, they look to others and less likely to be innovators. Now, this is actually can be related to dogmatism consumers just now because they are very rigid. They don't want to see other new products. So you have to have this what you call it other directedness. When they have to look to others, they have to likely to see what are the others' opinion, expert opinion, celebrities, and so on. And because they are less likely to be the innovators. So they tend to become the followers instead of the person who actually purchased the first one who purchased the products. And the third one, the third topic is the consumers who actually need for uniqueness. Now, who are the consumers who need for uniqueness? Basically, consumers who are avoid conforming to expectation or standards of others. They want to become very, very different. They want to become very unique as compared to the rest of the consumers. And the next topic and the next type of consumers are the optimum stimulation level, which is a personality trait that measures the level or amount of novelty or complexity that individual seeks in their personal experience. For example, high optimum stimulation level consumers tend to accept risks and to become tend to accept risky and novel product more readily than low optimum stimulation level consumers. All right. The next one is sensation seeking. Okay, this type of consumers, the need for varied, novel, and complex sensation and experience, and the willingness to take social and physical risks for the sensation. An example who are seeking for sensation like consumers who want to go for bungee jumping, right? Extreme sports, and so on. And much research has been tied to the study of teenage males who often engage in this behavior. For example, they want to use skateboard, they want to use roller skate, and they want to also to use the what you call it, rempit or so on, something like that. Okay, all right. The next is actually what we call it the variety novelty seeking. It measures a consumer degree of variety seeking. Example include exploratory purchase behavior, use innovativeness, and vicarious exploration. All right. Um, okay. In the variety novelty seeking was basically what I call it. Some consumers exhibit what we call it exploratory purchase behavior, where they switch brands often to experience new products. Okay, for example, they switch from using brand A to brand B because they want to experience. Okay, how do actually this brand B will be, or the taste. Okay, so they want to see, right? And then other consumers display variety by use innovativeness. For example, using an existing product in a new way. So you want to change, we want to change, we want to have a variety because you want to actually to see whether you can use that same product in a different way, right? And finally, we have this vicarious exploration, which often does not involve actual purchase about the product, but it refers to daydreaming or thinking about a new product. Okay, you just like you just imagine that okay, this is the product in the future, something like that. Ask yourself for product categories, okay, which you exhibit in the variety novelty seeking. So whether you are actually exploratory product purchase behavior, right? Because you want to experience new product, or whether you are use innovativeness because you want to use to use the product in different way, or maybe because you are vicarious exploration because you are just like to see you are a daydreamer, right? Which is most of you are, right? Okay. And next is we have another, which is we call it cognitive cognitive personality factors. All right. In this case, okay, a person craving for enjoyment of thinking. They would like to think, right? Some consumers they don't like to think, but this type of consumers they like to think. So individual with high need for connection more likely to respond to ads rich in product information. Okay, you display an advertisement whereby there are so what you call it full of information because they want to read, or maybe they want to visualize, and then they want to actually think about it, right? But if you don't actually put more much information, they don't actually respond to the ads. Okay. In terms of cognitive personality factors, we can actually divide it into two: visualizers or verbalizers. People who see, or people who like to read from what I call it uh, verbalizers, right? Example here. Why this ad particularly appealing to visualizers? Because this ad stresses strong visual dimension. Okay, because it's actually you look at the shoes. It's actually very strong. This actually the written information is not that much. Okay, why this? Now, another example. Why is this ad particularly appealing to verbalizers? Okay, there's so much written in the ad. Okay, better sleep, better health, better bed, and then you have a lot of information there, and this ad is actually appealing to the verbalizers. All right. Okay, discussion question. What advertising media or print, television, internet, salesperson, pop display, newspaper, radio is good for a person with a high, what I call it, NFT, okay, a verbalizer, right? Okay, from consumer materialism to compulsive consumption. Okay, what is actually consumer materialism? Materialistic people. Okay, first my question is that what is materialism? Are you materialist? Are you materialistic? All right. Now you just imagine, you just see people around you. Some people, okay, they acquire and they purchase a product because they want to show off possessions. Some are self-centered and selfish. Some seek lifestyle full of possession. But do you really think that some of them do not get greater personal satisfaction actually from possession, right? So you just imagine your friend, okay, your parents, or your siblings, okay, look at how they actually uh, are they materialistic people, okay? Because this is a very what I call it modern concept. Okay, people are becoming more materialistic. They start to actually collect things, purchase because of materialism. All right, from consumer materialism to compulsive consumption. Okay, what is actually compulsive consumption? Now, before we go there, now let's look at fixated consumption behavior. Okay, what is actually fixated consumption behavior? Consumers fixated on certain products or categories of products. Okay, characteristic, for example, passionate interest in a product category, willingness to go to a great length to secure objects, dedication of time and money to collecting. Now, fixated consumption behavior is that a consumer is really attached to the product. Is really attached to the product. For example, uh, let's say one example, iPhone. Because of his fixated consumption behavior, all right, and his passion about iPhone, right, he is willing to actually queue, okay, in order to get the new launch product since a day before the product has been launched. And he or she dedicated his time, money collecting it. Even though yes, maybe I already have iPhone 5. But since iPhone 6 already in the market, okay, he will dedicate some of his money to buy this iPhone 6 because of his fixation towards the product. And then compulsive consumption behavior is actually addicted. Now it becomes, because of his fixated just now, it become addicted or out of control consumers. Now let's say a girl who is very we call it highly involved with handbags, right? Handbags, uh, let's say a brand, let's say the handbag, the brand name is uh, Gucci. Okay, now let's say if he has a she has a what I call it a paying job as an accountant, and then he has a salary of maybe 3,000 a month. She has a salary of 3,000 a month. But whenever she saw, she see, whenever she see a Gucci store, she will buy a Gucci handbag. Even though she has 30 Gucci's handbag at home. So that is something which is ridiculous, right? But that is what we call compulsive consumption behavior, which is you are addicted. Okay, you are out of control. You are not thinking straight. You are buying it because of your compulsive consumption behavior. Now let's look at another concept, consumer ethnocentrism and cosmopolitanism. What is consumer ethnocentrism? Okay, consumer ethnocentrism is actually a consumer, okay, who actually wants to buy only local. Whenever they see foreign product, they will not buy the foreign product because of their national, we call it nationalistic semangat kenegaraan tu. They buy only Malaysian local. In contrast, cosmopolitanism, okay, is the reverse of ethnocentrism, which is they will consider to buy product from other countries. Don't buy local, but buy overseas, from overseas. So that is cosmopolitanism. So do you see? Okay, you just imagine, you just think, are you an ethnocentrism consumer, or are you a cosmopolitanism consumer? Okay, some of you might be both. Okay, some of you might be both, which is what call it, you buy local and also you buy foreign. But some of you only buy local, some of you only buy foreign products. Okay. Okay, and now let's look at the next one is what we call it brand personality. Okay, brand personality. Okay, what is actually brand personality? Okay, personality-like trait associated with brands. Example, Nike, athletes. BMW, performance driven. Fiat, strong, security. Right? So that is brand personality. Brand personality which is strong and favorable will strengthen a brand but not necessarily demand a price premium. Okay. Okay. Now let's look another concept. Okay. Product anthropomorphism. Very difficult to actually pronounce. Anthropomorphism and brand personification. Okay, what is product anthropomorphism? It's actually attributing human characteristic to objects. Okay, you are trying to relate a product with a human character. Example, Tony the Tiger, Mr. Peanut. Okay, Peanut is actually a product, Peanut, but you want to associate it with human, you call them Mr. Peanut. Okay, so you're trying to associate a brand, a product with a human. So that is actually product anthropomorphism. The other one is brand personification. Is actually consumer perception of brand attribute for a human-like character. For example, Mr. Coffee is seen, okay, as a dependable, friendly, efficient, intelligent, and smart. So it's a bit different from anthropomorphism. Okay, basically it's try to actually to look at the brand attribute for a human-like character. Instead of that, just now, it's actually trying to attribute human characteristic to objects. Okay, all right. Now, this is the brand personality framework. Okay, brand personality, we have sincerity, excitement, competence, sophistication, and ruggedness. And for example, for the sincerity, is down-to-earth product, honest product, wholesome and cheerful. You trying to portray that the product is actually, the brand is actually down to earth, humble, honest, wholesome and cheerful. For the excitement, you are trying to display the brand as daring, very spirited, imaginative, up to date. That is for excitement. For competence, actually looking, you are trying to associate the product with reliability, intelligent, successful, right? And for sophistication, it's actually you want to associate the brand with high class, upper class, charming, right? And for ruggedness, is for like outdoor, tough, right? So that is what you call it for the framework of the brand personality. But there are some issues for product personality. For example, you have gender issues, geography, and also color. Okay. Example, gender. Some products perceived as masculine. Okay. Example, coffee and toothpaste. While others as feminine, such as bath soap and also shampoo. Okay. So they are always associated with women, right? And then also there is issue of geography, actual location, like Philadelphia cream cheese and Arizona iced teas. Are they really come from Philadelphia? Right. No, it's not actually come from Philadelphia. Okay. Fictitious name also used such as Hidden Valley and Bear Creek and so on. And then also color. Color combination in packaging and product also denotes personality. Sometimes red will reflect that you are very happy, right? Or very strong. Okay, black, or sometimes it actually reflect some personality. And let's look at another concept, which is self and self-image. Okay, consumers have a variety of enduring image of themselves. These images are associated with personality, and that individual consumption relates to self-image, right? So we want to see whether you and your self-image, which is actually translated from the product and services that you purchase. Okay, one or multiple self. Okay, a single consumer will act differently in different situations or with different people. So just imagine, now let's say, if you are in a class, how, or you want to go to a school, okay, what clothes would you wear? Uniform, school uniform. Now, if you want to go to a party, what clothes would you wear? T-shirt, jeans, something like that. So if you will become you will become a different person in a different situation. So this is what we call it multiple self. So for example, we have a variety of social roles. Okay, we are in a school, you are in university, when in a party, or when you are in the masjid, so it will be different. Marketers can target products to a particular self. Okay, makeup of the self-image. Now, it's actually contain traits, skill, habit, possession, relationship, and way of behavior developed through backgrounds, experience, and interaction with others. Consumers select product congruent with this image. So, because you want to actually to reflect, okay, to what you want to become. Okay, if you look at this, which consumer self-image does this ad target and why? So, actual size image, because it tells middle-aged women who like their hair long to continue doing so. Okay, all right. Now, different self-image. We have actual self-image, we have ideal self-image, we have social self-image, we have ideal social self-image, and we have expected self-image, and also out to self. Okay, what is actual self-image? How consumers see themselves is the actual self-image. Ideal self-image, how consumers would like to see themselves. Social self-image is how consumers feel others see them. And then ideal social self-image, how consumers would like others to see them. Expected self-image is how consumers expect to see themselves in the future. Then out to self is actually traits and individual belief are in her duty to possess. All right. Now let's look at the next one is extended self. Okay. Extended self is possession, can extend self in a number of ways. Actually, symbolically, conferring a status of rank, bestowing feeling of immortality, and endowing with magical powers. Sometimes, uh, when you actually possess, you have this new product, you can feel like this, right? For example, endowing with magical powers. Small children, when they buy toys, Superman toys, Superman costume. They believe that they actually have magical power, such as Superman, example. So that's how, because when they actually wear the Superman costume, they think they can fly. Now everyone can fly. Okay. Alright, altering the self-image. Consumer use self-altering product to express individualism by, when you want to alter yourself, you create a new self, maintaining the existing self, extending the self, or conforming. Right? So sometimes we can either alter our image, or we want to just confirm, or we want to actually maintain the existing self. Virtual personality. You can be anyone in the internet, in online, when you are online. Sometimes Halim is the real name. When online is Halimah. Right? Gender swapping. Okay? Gender swapping. You are a male, but you pretend to become a woman in online. Sometimes you are 20, but you say you are 18 years old. Okay? Or sometimes you are 40, but you pretend to become 20. Right? And then sometimes mild-mannered when you are actual. Okay? But when you are online, you tend to become very aggressive. So that is why I call it virtual personality. Sometimes it can be different as compared to reality. With that, we have finished the lecture. We'll see you next week on chapter 6. With that, I like to say Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.